TV, your exclusive source for all things Dartmouth, is proud to present the DCTV Local High School Athletics Game of the Week, as the Dartmouth High Lady Indians soccer team play host to the Lady Whalers from just eastbound from New Bedford High School here at Dartmouth Memorial Field. Hello again, everyone. Ian Abreu here with you, calling the action. So pleased to have you all with us, whether you're watching the game on DCTV local cable or through our live feed on YouTube. We have a Southeast Conference tilt here this afternoon as the Dartmouth High Indians coming in with an undefeated 3-0 record up top the standings of the Southeast Conference, taking on a Lady Whaler team at 0-4, as you can see, looking for that first league victory and first overall victory here in this 2020 shortened campaign. The Dartmouth High Indians are coming off a 6-2 thumping of the Brockton Boxers earlier in the week, and it was Annika Fratardo who led the offensive onslaught on Wednesday of this week. She netted 2 goals and assisted on 2 more as Dartmouth again defeated those Boxers 6-2. Kylie Wheaton also added 2 goals in the contest, while Kelly Medeiros and Paige Jacobson also each found the back of the net. Savannah Freitas, Sophia Giosa, and Kate Seguin all notched assists as well. Additionally, Shelby Wheaton made 3 saves in her first and debut start between the pipes as the goalkeeper of the season. Ellie Cook, Hannah Weedland, and Savannah Freitas were able to shut down Brockton's top scorers, and they were able to hold them to without a goal. So the Lady Indians coming off a very impressive 6-2 victory over Brockton. And those of you who have been covering high school and following high school local athletics for a while know that whenever your team can beat the Brockton Boxers in any sport, you know it's quite a feat, because Brockton, just through the fact that they have a large municipality of over 100,000 folks, they're able to draw from quite a huge, talented, and diverse talent pool. But Dartmouth really took care of business earlier in the week. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the Lady Indians starting lineup. Between the pipes will be Kate Smith, the junior, will be the goalie here this afternoon. Kaylee Wheaton, the senior forward, leads the team with 9 goals on the campaign. Also, we will have Hannah Weedland, the senior defender. She'll also be joined by Ellie Cook in the backfield, another senior defender. Annika Fratardo, who's second on the team with 5 goals, the senior midfielder. She'll be in the starting lineup. Kelly Maris, who we saw net 2 goals in our game of the week last week against West Bridgewater, the senior midfielder. She'll also be starting. Savannah Freitas will be at defense. She is the senior. We also have Logan Piver, the senior midfielder, will also be starting. Kristen Medeiros, the senior defender, will also crack the starting lineup. We'll have Kate Seguin, senior defender, and the starting lineup will be rounded out by Paige Jacobson, the other senior. Starting in goal for the Lady Whalers will be Avery Roderick, the senior. And as you see here, we're getting ready to start things off here. The game originally was scheduled for 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but with threats of showers earlier in the evening hours today and later afternoon, it behooved everyone to get this baby started a little bit earlier, and we're going to. And I think part of the delay as well is we only see 1 official here on the field, and that's a problem. We need 2, of course, so we'll keep our eye on that situation. Again, Scott Boudria is the head coach of the Indians in his 2nd season. Last year's record, and it was an impressive one, 16-4-1. They unfortunately fell short in the Division II South semifinal in overtime to Medway. But this team is very deep. It's very stacked. They're returning 17 players, and this team is certainly in the mix, and well in the mix, for that Southeast Conference Championship, which will be played just before Thanksgiving. Well, while we wait for the second official to show up, why don't we take a quick break and kind of gather ourselves here and wait for that, because I'm not sure how much longer that may be. That second official still might be thinking that game is starting at 4 o'clock. I hope not, but that could very well be the case. So with that being said, Please sit tight if you're watching us on the live feed. We'll be right back with you with the action, hopefully sooner rather than later. Stay tuned. We'll be right. Well, it's better late than never, and here he comes, the second official, just over yonder. You see him around the shed there. Tried to come in through the gate, and he had to go the long way around. And this poor man probably thought he was Johnny on the spot, coming nice and early, only to find out he was 10 minutes late. Oh boy, the trials and tribulations of being a high school official. But we love them for what they do. They don't get paid a lot, and they do it for love of the sport. So I'm assuming he'll just settle in quickly, and we'll get this baby started. And here come the Indians onto the field. They give a little bit of a cheer to the official for coming on. They all sort of clapped in unison. What was a very rainy, windy day has turned into a pretty decent late afternoon here at Dartmouth Memorial Field. Again, the rain is pretty much guaranteed to come in earlier this evening around 5:30. So it behooves us all to get this going now. All right, we're just about ready to get this thing going. We see the Indians taking the midfield mark. You see Kylie Wheaton, the senior forward, and the gunner on this team. She has the hot one for sure. She's been hot as hot with 9 goals on the season, and she is the key to this offensive firepower, as well as Annika Fratardo and Kelly Medeiros with 5 and 4 goals respectively themselves. But it all starts with her. You isolate Wheaton, and the Indians may have some trouble. But easier said than done. No one's been able to do it yet. Certainly not the Boxers. Again, they fell victim to these Indians 6-2 back on October the 14th up in Brockton at Campanelli Stadium. All right, here we go. We're underway here at Dartmouth Memorial Field. The Indians going right to left across your TV in the home greens with black shorts and green socks. The Whalers in the visiting whites with red shorts and white socks. Here's Medeiros trying to feed it over to Wheaton, deflected and blocked. With it now is Kelly Medeiros. Kelly Medeiros trying to find her player on side, and that's Paige Jacobson. Jacobson looking to feed Wheaton away on the breakaway, but Kylie Wheaton is called for offside, and it'll be a free kick for the Indians. Excuse me, for the Whalers. So you'll notice if you're a first-timer turning on to this game today in this new season, we're no longer playing halves here in high school soccer in the MIAA in this COVID-shortened season. We will have 4 20-minute quarters with running clock. Same way you would have it with the halves. Clock is running, but we're going to have quarters instead. Here's Jacobson on a good ball. Paige Jacobson going to the goal. In front, centering feed to Wheaton. Her shot is wide out of bounds. That was the best opportunity we've seen thus far here in the young and early start here. Was out of bounds, so it'll be a goal kick for the Lady Whalers, and you'll see the starting goalkeeper, Avery Roderick, giving way on the goal kick. Sometimes goalies take it, sometimes they don't. And we have a head ball called against Medeiros, and you can't play it intentionally with your head in this COVID season. That's a no-no. If it's accidental, if it's off the head, off the chest, off the torso, that's fine. But you can't play the ball intentionally off the head. There's Calista Pacheco on the indirect kick. Running up on the ball now is Peyton Costa for New Bedford, going back for it, and defending is Calista Pacheco. Pacheco being guarded hard by Sophia Gioso. Back in the Indian zone, Savannah Freitas. Freitas across midfield looking to send Wheaton away, and she can't get to it. Just too far in front of her, and Avery Roderick will play it, and she'll take the kick. Thought about a punt, she'll throw it instead, but it's blocked by Sophia Giosa right at the 20-yard line. Plays it over to Medeiros. Medeiros in the corner to Jacobson, and she can't get it. Out of bounds. It'll be another goal kick for the Whalers, and retrieving the ball will be Destiny Misai. Misai will give way to number 18, Jenna Nugara, who will take the goal kick. So it's apparent Avery Roderick, the senior goalkeeper, will not administer her own goal kicks today. Sometimes, depending on the strategy, a defender will do it. Logan Paiva trying for a centering feed. It was blocked back in Almost near midfield, Savannah Freitas tipping it ahead. Back to the midfield stripe. That was Kate Seguin. Seguin tipping it up ahead. And chipping it ahead was Kelly Medeiros. Here's Wheaton again in on goal. Wheaton is onside, slows it down. Wheaton trying to play it back to perhaps Jacobson or maybe Medeiros. The ball is deflected but not out of bounds. Right near the end line. Here's Medeiros. Medeiros centering feed, and it's hoovered up by Roderick. And that's another shot on goal, and she's looking for some help, and she'll finally just try to throw it away and doesn't land to her teammates. It's intercepted by the Indians and Kristen Medeiros. Kristen Medeiros playing it to Kate Seguin. Seguin trying to dump it in toward the box, but it's blocked. And for the Whalers now, you have Destiny Mise. Mise trying to chip it ahead, blocked again by the Indians and Paiva. Out of bounds. It'll be a kick-in for the Indians, not a throw-in like you would normally see if the ball goes out of bounds. It's a kick-in, and it acts like an indirect kick. You can't score direct off a kick-in. It has to either be played by someone or deflect off someone. So that brings a whole new element to strategy here this year. Here's Paiva. Paiva over to Kelly Medeiros, trying to send Kylie Wheaton away as she was hanging right by that onside line, just in parallel with her nearest defender, but it just couldn't get to her, and it's out of bounds. And it'll be Indian ball. 15 minutes and change here in quarter number one. Goose eggs on the scoreboard between the Whalers and Indians. Seguin in her own zone. Has all sorts of room to run. Passing it ahead. Good ball to Paiva. Paiva can't gain a handle out of bounds. It'll be Indian. Check that. It'll be Whaler ball. Looked like at first it was perhaps deflected out by Ariana Mello, but no Whaler touched it. So Dartmouth will now retreat back and play defense. And on the kick-in for the Whalers will be Calista Pacheco. Giosa looking for some running room. Deflected back, but it's grabbed by Paige Jacobson. Jacobson stops, pops. Looking for Wheaton. Wheaton does grab it 1-on-3. Kylie Wheaton trying to split three defenders almost made it happen. It was just too much to handle. Tipping it ahead is Kristen Medeiros. Kristen Medeiros over to Kelly Medeiros. Kelly Medeiros centering feed for Wheaton. Out of bounds. You can see right there, number 8, Kelly Medeiros was barreling right toward the net, as was Wheaton. As all good goal scorers do, they have that knack for going right toward the crease, right toward the box. Here's a centering feed on the kick-in, looking to hook up with Kristen Medeiros. Medeiros couldn't gain a handle. Back up top, Giosa. Giosa playing it back, still with it. Here's Kate Seguin. Seguin tipping it. That's a good ball to Logan Paiva. Paiva can't save it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Whalers. Dartmouth has certainly had its opportunities here in this first quarter, but they just can't get over that hump. They've had several opportunities. We've had one offside call. We've had a couple of shots wide. For all intents and purposes, you would think this is a game the Indians should win and win handily, but again, New Bedford High School always comes ready to play and always has a great soccer program. Here's Giosa. To Paige, back to Giosa. Giosa runs into her own player, Wheaton, and the ball just deflects out of their way, and it goes back now to midfield where we have Hannah Wiedlin. Wiedlin tipping it ahead. Running forward is Wheaton. Wheaton has a beat on it. Can she save it? Yes, she will. Looking for a cross, perhaps. Centering feed to Giosa. Tipped. It's alive in the box. Going for it was Kelly Medeiros. The ball was deflected up and trying to save it, and it finally goes out. Letting it roll out of bounds was Destiny Mise. But nonetheless, she did touch it. And I think maybe she thought that she didn't touch it. She was trying for a goal kick, but instead, it'll be a corner kick for the Indians. It'll be taken by Giosa. One thing you notice with the corner kicks this season, you can't kick it high and arc it into the box or the net. They don't want players converging. They don't want walls. They don't want headers in there. They don't want players bumping into each other. That's why you saw that corner kick by Giosa, sort of a tip to her fellow teammate to just set it up. Dartmouth certainly controlling the play here in the first quarter. However, thus far, nothing to show for it. Trying to boot it ahead was Haven Lopes. Lopes' kick was deflected off of Kristen Medeiros. Out of bounds, it'll be a kick-in for the Whalers. Medeiros plays it to Jenna Noguera. We have a stoppage here. We had a mask issue with Calista Pacheco. She fixes the mask. Now we should be good. One thing these officials are not playing around with is the mask. They are under strict oversight by the MIAA. You see a mask down, a broken mask, play is immediately blown dead, no matter what's happening, and that player has to exit until he or she gets a new mask on their face. Tip ahead, Wheaton, barreling toward the goal, was trying to receive that setup from Paige Jacobson, but it's deflected away. Now for the Whalers, Vanessa Bucha trying to kick it ahead, deflected up and out of bounds off of the Indians. It'll be a kick-in for New Bedford. Kicking it in for New Bedford was Destiny Mise. Stoppage play, ball out of bounds. We'll have a sub for the Indians. Annika Fratardo will check into the ball game, and Sophia Giosa will take a seat. That's one thing about these Lady Indians. They're very deep on the bench. Again, we talk about 17 players returning, and Scott Boudria, the head coach, has the luxury to do this kind of stuff. That's a good ball if she can get to it. Paiva, but she cannot. Out of bounds. It'll be Whaler ball on another goal kick. We've just dipped under the 10-minute mark here in this opening stanza. Zeros all the way around. The kick is taken by Sage Morrow of New Bedford. We have some contact, nothing called. We had a trip at around the 35-yard line as Medeiros hit the deck, but Medeiros gets back up. Here's Peyton Costa. Costa loses control. Here's Kate Seguin. Seguin up over to Hannah Weedlin. Weedlin feeding right in front of shot, and a beautiful save on the one-timer. Going in was Kylie Wheaton, and coming way out to cut down the angle was Avery Roderick, the senior goalkeeper, and she thus far makes the save of the game, keeping it a 0-0 ball game here in the first quarter. She just stonewalled one of the best scorers in the region. Tipped in front of shot and a goal. Onside, it's good. 1-0 Indians. Kelly Medeiros at 8:26. Beautiful feed. Kelly Medeiros was in all alone, onside. She nets her 5th of the 2020 season. And finally, you knew it was only a matter of time. The Indians draw first blood at 1-0. And we'll see here. There she is all alone. Wonderful feed by Annika Fratardo. And Annika Fratardo showing us why she's one of the team leaders in assists with 2. She picks up her 3rd assist on the season. And that, folks, was child's play. Again, you knew it was only a matter of time. These Indians have been all over them. And if you're Kate Smith, the junior goalkeeper for Dartmouth, you can have a cup of coffee back in the goal right now. You haven't had any play even remotely close to a shot, and another goal. Kylie Wheaton at 7:55. It's 2-0 in favor of the Indians. Wow. The assist coming from Logan Paiva. You see Kylie Wheaton getting sent away. And coming out to try to cut down the angle was Roderick. But being the great goal scorer that she is, Kylie Wheaton was able to just sort of loop it around her and slam it home. And she now breaks double digits already in goals on the young season. She has scored 10 goals in now only the 5th game of the season. So basic math, she's averaging at least 2 goals a game here on the season. And that's big league stuff, folks. If you're an Indian fan, she is a senior. You'll hate to see her go if you're an Indian fan, but she has had a heck of a career here on the varsity level. So now New Bedford finds themselves in big trouble. And the next goal will be the most important goal. If New Bedford can score, they're back in it. If Dartmouth can score, they can pretty much, even though it's early, put this thing on ice because you know and I know, folks, a 3-0 lead in soccer at any level is a tall order to climb. You'd have to score 4 unanswered goals to just take the lead. And that is really, really tough. In hockey, both field and ice, it's not as difficult as it is in soccer. Soccer, it's a whole different ball of wax. The kick-in goes off of the shin of Emma Almeida, and it'll be Indian ball. Here's Wheaton. Oh, that's a good ball, sending away Logan Paiva. Paiva looking for help, centering feed. Nobody is there. It just tips and it goes not out of bounds. Saved right on the edge by the Indians. A centering feed, and it's deflected out of bounds, but it'll be a corner kick for the Indians, and I believe it'll be either Fratardo or Medeiros taking the corner kick. You see both heading to that corner. I believe it'll be, yes, that's Fratardo on the corner kick. A give and go with Medeiros. Trying that back and forth. Medeiros tried the feed from Fratardo just out of her way. Here's Fratardo again. Centering feed, looking for Jacobson, and the Whalers boot it right out conservatively again, but it'll be another corner kick for the Indians. It'll be the combo of Fratardo and Medeiros again. The 1-2 punch on the corner. As a soccer enthusiast, you of course miss the old days of the boot into the box and the mad scramble and the header and the contact, but not this season. Here's Fratardo with a centering feed. Stopping it is Kate Seguin. Seguin, a centering feed, a shot on goal, and a save by Roderick. Roderick stomping Gabby Santos with the left-footed shot just up top the box. The New Bedford High Whalers haven't even had any type of offensive rush or pressure remotely close to the box area of the Indians. It has been all offensive zone pressure by Dartmouth thus far in the first quarter. The closest New Bedford High has come to the net came at about the 30-yard line of their own attacking zone, but that's been pretty much it. On the kick-in is Destiny Mise. Savannah Freitas, the defender, back in her own zone. Cracking it across midfield. All sorts of running room. Feeding Wheaton. Wheaton now into the box area. Stops it and slows it down. The Kylie DaCosta. Kylie DaCosta tries a centering feed. Kylie DaCosta, the junior defender, just coming off the bench in a sub, seeing her first action of the afternoon. It'll be a kick-in for for Dartmouth. Maya Leonardo now will kick it in the New Bedford defensive zone, the Dartmouth attacking zone. Leonardo looking to feed it to Wheaton, but it's deflected back into the area of Seguin. Dartmouth slowing it down. A good ball going in toward goal onside was Annika Fratardo, and she would have had Avi Roderick dead to right if Roderick didn't have the fortuitiveness to come out and grab it down and thus cut down the angle. Playing it back now for the Indians is Smith. That wasn't a shot on goal. It was played back by her own defender. We have a contact call against Dartmouth on the trip up. Getting tripped up for New Bedford High was Peyton Costa. So this will be the best chance of the afternoon thus far for New Bedford. And because it was contact, it'll be a direct, not an indirect kick. So taking the kick will be Emma Almeida, and she could theoretically score on this. Boots it high toward the net and just wide. She tried to take advantage of that wind to try to hook it in on the top right corner. She had the right idea. She was looking to go top shelf on Smith, but it just went wide. Taking the goal kick for Dartmouth will be Hannah Wiedelin, the senior defender. Here's Medeiros. Medeiros looking to send Fratardo away, and she does. Annika Fratardo is in all alone. Shoots, and she scores at 1:30 here in the first quarter. Annika Fratardo, she was left all alone behind the Whaler defense. And just like that, the Indians have grown their lead to 3-0 here in the first quarter. I mean, she was wide open and all alone. And you can see Gabby Santos was also all alone with her. We essentially had a 2-on-0. Wow. And with that third goal, we are going to have a stoppage in play here. And we're going to end the first quarter. The first quarter came to an end. I didn't hear the 3 whistles, as that goal did come within the stoppage time of 2 minutes, and the officials decided to pull the plug on this first quarter. So with that being said, as you can see here, the score tells the story, folks. It was all Dartmouth in that first opening frame, and we'll be right back with second quarter action in less than 2 minutes here on DCTV. Second quarter action about ready to kick off here at Dartmouth Memorial Field. And you can see the score tells the story. The Indians are on top 3-0. We'll go over the quick scoring recap of that first quarter. The Indians drew first blood at the 8-minute, 26-second mark as Kelly Medeiros netted her 5th tally on the young season. Not long thereafter, less than a minute after, at 7:55, the Indians grew their lead to 2-0 as Kylie Wheaton banged in her 10th on the season. And then in stoppage time, under 2 minutes, at 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock, Annika Fratardo, all alone on a breakaway, scores her 6th on the campaign. And that's where we stand, with the Indians on top 3-0. So if you're New Bedford High School here, you really want to just try to stay in this game, compete, be competitive, and leave it all on the field. I'm not too sure realistically a victory is within your sight now, but you at the very least want to compete and show Dartmouth, one of the premier teams in the South Coast region, that you can hang with them. One thing we know about the Whalers, and I should know, I'm one of them, I'm an alum, is that they always come ready to play no matter what, and they never give up. That's been the mantra of the Whaler for a long, long time. Vanessa Bucha running for it, goes out of bounds. It'll be a kick-in for the Whalers. As you can see here, we've flipped now on the quarters, so the Whalers are going to attack right to left across your TV screen, and the Indians will attack left to right. We have some confusion on the kick-in here. It'll be kicked in by Emma Almeida, deflected out of bounds by DaCosta, so it'll once again be Whaler ball. Emma Almeida on the give and go from her teammate Alexa Rodriguez, out of bounds again. So we'll redo this again. Almeida and Rodriguez. Here's Rodriguez in toward the goal. An opportunity for New Bedford, but these Indians are just so tough in all facets of the game, and they just thump that opportunity. Here's Kate Seguin. Seguin looking to send some of her players away, and she's able to. A centering feed, barreling toward the goals. Kylie DaCosta. DaCosta can't catch up to it, out of bounds. She was all alone, but the feed was just too far out of her reach, and it'll be a goal kick for the Whalers. Jenna Noguera, the sophomore, will take the goal kick. Intercepted and stolen by Fratardo just outside the box. Fratardo creating all sorts of havoc in that midfield today, playing it back now, Savannah Freitas. Fratardo thought about attacking, but she'll play back in defense instead. At midfield now for the Whalers, Caitlin Almeida. Almeida looking to kick it ahead. Almeida just ridden off the ball by some wonderful defense by 18, Eileen Boyle. Kristen Medeiros saving it from going out of bounds. Medeiros to Furtado to Medeiros. Medeiros, good defense that time. Standing up Medeiros was Kim Sanabria. Kylie Wheaton still on the bench for the Indians, getting a much-needed rest and a break. And that's the luxury when you have a team this deep. If you're Scott Boudria, you can rest some of your starters, rest some of your stars, really run your bench that's nice and deep out there, especially for those underclassmen who are going to be back next year for all intents and purposes. You want to get them some minutes at the varsity level now. Kylie DaCosta playing it to Maya Leonardo. Leonardo trying to feed it away, and she does. That's Fratardo. Stops. Finds Kate Seguin. Seguin on the corner running for it now is Gabby Santos. Santos can just track it down. She does, keeps it in bounds. Santos to Seguin. Centering feed for Fratardo. Ball is still loose in top of the box. Dartmouth with an opportunity. Fratardo stops. Pops, looking to set something up. Seguin, looking for an opening. A shot just wide. Kate Seguin, the senior defender, with a left-footed boot that time. And it was a laser beam. It was just wide right of the goal. And Avery Roderick very smartly just let it go out of bounds. No need to touch it. It was well wide, and you get the goal kick. And the goal kick will once again be taken by Jenna Noguera. DaCosta playing it back, feeding it ahead is Maya Leonardo on the chip. Kate Seguin. Kate Seguin had an opportunity to go all alone, but it was defended nicely by Terry Pereira of the Whalers, and she just boots it out of bounds conservatively to just avoid another defensive lapse and meltdown here. All sorts of running room. Fratardo, top of the box, has an opportunity, a shot, and a wonderful save made by Avery Roderick, and it just goes out of bounds, but it'll be a goal kick. A corner kick for Dartmouth, and let's take another look at that one. Annika Fratardo had some space, and coming out to cut down the angle was Avery Roderick, and Roderick made the great save, and it'll be a corner for Dartmouth, and it'll be taken by Annika Fratardo. And she finds Kelly Medeiros. Medeiros and Fratardo are usually the 1-2 punch on those corner kicks. Deflected out of bounds again in the box. It'll be another corner kick. Fratardo chipping it in toward the goal, and that had danger written all over it, but Avery Roderick comes out to grab it. And she'll kick it away. First time she's kicked the ball out from her own net so far today. And it was a pretty good one. Sailed over 40 yards. But it did go out of bounds. It'll be Dartmouth ball. We have some more subs coming in for the Indians. We have Sophia Giosa, Ella Will, and Ellie Cook all checking into the game. A lot of different folks getting playing time here this afternoon. That's a good thing to see. And Kylie Wheaton still on the bench for Dartmouth. They haven't needed her as of late. They have that 3-0 lead. She is by the scorer's table. She will be checking in again soon. And now she will come in, and Kylie DaCosta will take a seat. Maya Leonardo trying to tip it to Giosa, but it's stolen by Vanessa Bucha. Bucha tipping it ahead, running for it now for the Whalers is Haven Lopes. Lopes taken out of the play by Dartmouth. And we have the Indians with all sorts of running room here. Giosa to Fratardo. She's so good at slowing down the play, looking to send Kate Seguin away. She tips it on the left side ahead to Gabby Santos. The ball is deflected out of bounds, but it'll be Indian ball. More subs coming in for Dartmouth. We have Paige Jacobson and Logan Paiva coming in now in place of Kate Seguin and Gabby Santos. Every other stoppage, we're seeing subs here by Scott Boudria. Really running a deep bench here today. Centering feed in the box, going for is Kylie Wheaton. She can catch up to it. Just outside the box, trying to set it up. Plays it back. Booting it is Maya Leonardo towards Fratardo. Fratardo just couldn't get a handle on it, but it goes back now to Leonardo. Leonardo ridden off the play by Haven Lopes, but Haven Lopes is clear, is stopped again by the Indians. That's Hannah Weedland. Weedland now plays it back. Weedland again. Over to Wheaton. That's a good ball. That's onside as Wheaton was trying to send Paiva away on a breakaway. Stolen by Giosa. Giosa over to Paiva. Paiva in toward the box, trying to turn around for the shot, but it was cleared out by Destiny Mise. Dartmouth again exerting all sorts of pressure. Only a matter of time here before they score. You've got that feeling. They're all over the Whalers. Ella Will, the senior midfielder, now trying to pressure the box. The ball was finally cleared, and it's deep into Whaler territory. But playing it back is Kate Smith, and she'll clear it out. Leonardo looking for Giosa, just out of her reach, but it goes back into the wickets of Ellie Cook. Ellie Cook trying to play it and feed it to her teammate, Maya Leonardo, and she does. Hits Wheaton. Kylie Wheaton. Now we've got a stoppage. What do we have a stoppage for here? It was blown by the far side official. Okay, we have a mask violation. That's the deal here. So we need to get that taken care of. Okay, it's been fixed. As a result, it'll be a direct kick for the Indians. Haven Lopes playing it over to Caitlin Almeida. Annika Fratardo looking for running room. Boy, she's so quick. Look at her go, folks. Annika Fratardo in on goal, shot just wide. She is such a dynamic player, folks, on this team. Sometimes doesn't get the headlines of Kelly Medeiros or Kylie Wheaton, but I've got to tell you, she really makes this team go. The midfielder, Annika Fratardo, in her senior year, is one of the most major straws that stirs this drink for sure. Fratardo playing it back. Here's Giosa. All sorts of running room. A shot just wide. And Sophia Giosa, the sophomore midfielder, when she shot that wide, sort of picked her head up to the sky to say, oh, no, I perhaps missed an opportunity there. She was all alone, had nothing between her and pay dirt, and she just shot it wide. Coming out for the Indians is Hannah Weedland. She'll take a breather. Here's Giosa playing it to Fratardo. Fratardo shot and a goal! Annika Fratardo at 8:03 of the second quarter, and the Indians now lead 4-0. That's her second goal of the afternoon. Let's take another look. Set up by Giosa. Annika Fratardo stops, pops, threads the twine, nothing but net, and that is now her seventh goal of the season. Fourth on the afternoon, second of the game for her. So 2 by Fratardo, 1 by Wheaton, 1 by Kelly Medeiros, and it's 4-0, and the Indians are now running away with this thing here. Wheaton looking to steal it away from Terry Pereira. Terry Pereira just plays it away, but Wheaton gets it back. Wheaton has a chance. Trying to center it. It's deflected back into goal, and it's sucked up by Avery Roderick. Avery Roderick, you got to feel a little bad for her today. She's had some awesome opportunities in net, and she's had some great saves, but she's given up 4 goals, all of which certainly not her fault. Some of these shots were just all alone, and she was dead to right. Giosa playing it back on the deflection. Leonardo to Giosa, tipping it ahead to Wheaton. Wheaton looking for a cross. There is the cross. High and wide, not out of bounds. It's kept in bounds and saved by Dartmouth. In toward goal, Giosa tipping it. Here comes Wheaton. Wheaton has an opportunity, a shot just wide. Kylie Wheaton tried an off-footed shot with her left foot, and she tried to pick that top upper right-hand corner. It's the goalie's right, our left on our TV, but you know what I mean. Tried that upper right-hand corner, and she just shot it wide. It's a goal kick for the Whalers. Fratardo to Paige. Back to Fratardo on a give and go. Cleared out of bounds by New Bedford. It'll once again be Dartmouth ball. The Indians are well on their way to keeping their 2020 season an undefeated one. as they came in with a 3-0 mark, looking to leave Dartmouth Memorial Field at 4-0. Well on their way. Shot on goal just wide, deflected, out of bounds. And it'll be a goal kick for New Bedford. Taking the goal kick this time for the Whalers will be Terry Pereira. Pereira trying to play it, but it's stolen. Here's a chance for Logan Piver. A shot just wide. Logan Piver on the steal off the goal kick was all alone, the senior midfielder. And she was oh so close to scoring a goal here in this second quarter to really give the Indians a stranglehold on this game. And her shot was just wide of the cage. We have another sub for the Indians. Kate Seguin will check back in. And coming out is Maya Leonardo. So 19 in for 14 here. Trying to keep up with all these subs for Scott Boudry. It's tough. He's got 2-3 girls coming in and going at a time. And again, a testament to the deep bench that he has. A lot of coaches here at the high school level, especially locally, don't have that luxury. Here's Medeiros. Kelly Medeiros with a chance. Over to Logan Piva, but Logan Piva was just, and I mean just barely offside. Looked like a good ball to me, to be quite frank with you up top here, but again, I don't have the bird's eye view these officials have. Great play by Medeiros to send Piva away. Hesitated, got the defense to commit, and she passed it ahead into the box, but Piva was a little too excited, broke too early. She was offside. So once we hit the 2-minute mark here, we'll be in stoppage time. I don't reckon it'll be too long of a stoppage time. We've only had one goal here. Not too many stoppages, no injuries, no yellow cards, no red cards, nothing like that. The typical out-of-bounds stuff, but nothing too major. Mise playing it ahead, looking to send Emily Miranda away, but the ball is cleared out of bounds. The kick-in will be administered by Destiny Mise. Both her and Sage Mora will take it. Here's Morrow. Chipping it ahead. But there's Annika Fratardo. She's everywhere, folks. Defending, scoring, setting up. Quite amazing. There's a good ball by Kristen Medeiros ahead. Here's Kate Seguin with a shot on goal just wide. Kristen Medeiros now sending Kate Seguin away. And she had a golden opportunity. And she just fired it wide. Goal kick for New Bedford. Turning around now and shooting it is Sage Morrow. Trying to create something here before this half ends, but I don't see it happening. Here's Kristen Pereira. Pereira in on goal, looking to set something up. Pereira now in the corner. Saves it in bounds. Looking for a cross. Well, instead we'll play it back. Playing it back to Seguin. Seguin over to Ella Will. Will just up top the box. Will over to Kelly Medeiros. What a nice spin move there by Medeiros. Over to Kylie Wheaton. Shot on goal, save, rebound. Fratardo with a goal. Annika Fratardo in stoppage time. And there it is, the hat trick for Annika Fratardo. And it is now 5-0 Indians. This whole play was created by Wall on the feed to Medeiros. Then it goes to Wheaton. Wheaton's centering shot was deflected off of the mitts of Roderick. And Annika Fratardo was all alone and nets her third goal of the afternoon. a hat trick, and we're only in the first half, and that is now Fratardo's 8th goal on the season, only 2 behind the team leader, Kylie Wheaton. And there it is. You've got the 3 whistles blown dead, and we are now approaching the halftime mark. And so we'll be right back in just a short moment with second half action. But the score as we approach the second half, scoreboard right there really sells it all, folks. The Indians are dominating the Whalers from New Bedford 5-0. And we'll be right back with third quarter and second half action in just a few moments. And we're back with second half and third quarter action here on DCTV. And the Indians of Dartmouth High are on top 5-0 over the Whalers of New Bedford High. And this is how we got here. At 8:26 of the first quarter, Kelly Medeiros made it a 1-0 game. At 7:55 of the first quarter, Kylie Wheaton netted her 10th on the season to make it a 2-0 game. And then it became the Annika Fratardo show. Scored her first of the afternoon in stoppage time to make it 3-0 of the first quarter. In the second quarter, Annika Fratardo netted her second to make it 4-0 at 8:03. And then in stoppage time again, Annika Fratardo netted the hat trick to make it 5-0 toward the end of the second quarter. And that's where we're at, 5-0 in favor of the Indians. And if you're the Whalers, you just want to make things competitive here, end it on a strong note, but an Indian victory is a foregone conclusion here. And if you're at Dartmouth, this is a situation where you want to empty the bench, get a bunch of different players, some action, and avoid any type of injury. Just get out of here healthy, get you a win, and go home. Seguin playing it back to Wheaton. Indians in this third quarter attacking right to left across your TV screen in the home greens. Seguin. Paiva. Tipping it in toward the box. Paiva again being guarded by Calista Pacheco. Almost out of bounds. Stopped and kept in bounds by Hannah Weedland. Kristen Medeiros. Playing it back, tipping it as Paiva. Paiva playing it back to Seguin. Seguin. Paige Jacobson loses control. And the Whalers have numbers if they hurry. Had a potential 3-on-2 break for a moment. But now we have a chance for New Bedford. Here's Caitlin Almeida. Almeida stops, tries to shoot it in on goal, and she does. And it's grabbed by Smith. Probably one of the easiest saves Kate Smith will have this season, as that was just a slow roller, and she'll take it. Here's Vanessa Bucha. Bucha with a left-footed boot in toward the box, and Smith will grab it and slow it down. Tosses it over to Wheaton. Wheaton playing it over now to Seguin. Seguin trying to send Savannah Freitas away. Deflected. Now the Indians have an opportunity. Kristen Medeiros. Medeiros in on goal. Kristen Medeiros in front. Centering feed. Shot. Blocked. Rebound. Blocked again on a second chance by Savannah Freitas. Up front. Left-footed shot. Just high and wide. Dartmouth had several golden opportunities there and multiple attempts by Savannah Freitas, the senior defender who was attacking in that instance. But New Bedford held their ground in the box and deflected it away. And it'll be New Bedford ball on the goal kick. So Dartmouth clearly picking up where they left off in that second quarter. Again, all over New Bedford. Seguin stops, trying to send away Freitas. Freitas had an opportunity, but she's ridden off the play by Jenna Noguera. But she just conservatively boots it out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for the Indians. Oh, wait a minute. It will not be a corner kick for the Indians. It looked like it went off of Jenna Noguera, and the call was made for a corner kick. And if you look, the far side judge called for the corner, and that's why Dartmouth went to go set up. But the near side judge said, no. That didn't go off any Whaler. It'll be Whaler goal kick. But you can see the reaction of the Lady Indians. They were getting set up for a corner kick. That was the initial call. Here's a chance for New Bedford. We have a trip in the box, and that should be a penalty kick for Dartmouth. Let's see if the call is made. Creating the foul that time in the box was Calista Pacheco. And we will have a goal kick for the Indians. And I believe it'll be Savannah Freitas to take it. Now we're waiting. Now there's going to be no penalty kick. You could see right there, Savannah Freitas was going to take it. And the Indians and Scott Boudria thought there was going to be. That made no sense to me or to Scott Boudria. There was contact. There was a trip. Savannah Freitas hit the deck. She was tripped clear as day by Calista Pacheco on the contact within the box. And you could see both sides were setting up for what should have been a penalty kick, but nothing was taken. Very interesting. Medeiros sending Weedlin away. Handler Weedlin playing it back, deflected. And here's Logan Paiva. Paiva to Freitas. Out of bounds. Here's Seguin. Seguin to Paiva. Dartmouth getting set now for the indirect kick. Seguin after playing it from Ellie Cook. Can't gain a handle, and that's Sage Morrow. Morrow playing it up. Barreling in toward goals, Caitlin Almeida. Almeida tried to go away for the breakaway, but it's deflected away and out of bounds by Annika Fratardo. Doing it all. You see her playing back on defense now. Scott Boudria mixing things up here. You see Fratardo and Kylie Wheaton both playing back at defense. So that speaks to the versatility of these players. You have two gunners playing back at defense. Look at this. All alone are the Indians. Savannah Freitas. Shot. Wide open and a goal. Savannah Freitas all alone at 12:42 of the third quarter. It's 6-0 Indians. Great ball handling. Great deke. She dekes Avery Roderick out of her cleats. Coming right out to make the move. And, of course, it proved to be the wrong move. And Savannah Freitas wasn't going to mess that one up. She was all alone with nothing but an ocean worth of a net in front of her. And it's 6-0 Dartmouth. Haven Lopes playing it back to Sage Morrow. Morrow's attempt is cleared out by Freitas. Out of bounds. It'll be a kick-in for New Bedford. The kick-in will be taken by Calista Pacheco. Over to Morrow. Morrow in toward the box, deflected away. These Whalers cannot penetrate the box at all. There's Ellie Cook trying to get sent away on a breakaway. She's in a foot race with Jenna Noguera, but Noguera and the Whalers will win it, and they'll play the ball to center, but it's deflected out of bounds. It'll be another kick-in for the Indians. Freitas on it. Freitas playing it to Ellie Cook. Cook up at around the 40-yard line. Seguin. Seguin tried for a cross in toward the box, just misfired. Kylie Wheaton now back in her own zone. The usual forward, now the defender here in this mop-up role. Only helping her versatility. Shot on goal, a two-bouncer, and a stop by Smith. The shot was taken by Vanessa Butcher. Paiva. Good ball on the right-hand side to Kristen Medeiros. Medeiros stops. Centering feet. Shot just wide of the goal. Ellie Cook had an opportunity, and it was just wide up top. She tried to roof it over the head of Avery Roderick. Now let's take another look. Great feed by Medeiros. And I'm trying to see if she got a finger on it. They're going to say she did not. Now they're going to say she did now. It'll be a corner kick. First they were putting the ball in front for a goal kick. Now they're saying it is a corner kick. Looked like it was a tip from the naked eye, and that was the correct call for sure. Trying to boot it toward the goal is Wheatland. On the deflection was Kristen Medeiros out of bounds. And on that goal kick, before we see it, we'll take another look on the close-up. Oh, yeah, you can see the tip right there. And the naked eye was correct, folks, in real time. Some confusion by the far side official and the near side on to whether or not it was a goal kick or a corner kick. But the near side official was the one who was there, had the bird's eye view, and she made the right call. All irrelevant anyway because no goal was scored, but nonetheless, the right call was made. Here's Haven Lopes. Lopes ridden off the play, played back by Fratardo. Fratardo up to Logan Paiva. Paiva trying to send Freitas away for her second of the afternoon, but it's just stonewalled. And here for the Whalers, you have Haven Lopes. Playing it back, now number 13, Calista Pacheco. The Whalers cannot break this defensive wall of Dartmouth. They haven't had any remote chance of scoring a goal here today. Here's Kelly Medeiros. Medeiros up to Kristen Medeiros. Kristen Medeiros in toward goal. Trying to center in front. Shot deflected, and it's just wide of the net. Hannah Wheatland had an opportunity. It was a bouncer, and Ellie Cook was barreling toward the goal. She tried to deflect that bouncer, but it just went out of bounds as Wheatland just couldn't get a handle on it, and it'll be a goal kick for the Whalers. Time just tick-tocking away here in this ball game. The clouds are looming heavily over us here, and to move this game up an extra half hour was certainly the right call. Rain is all but imminent. Looking at the Doppler radar here on my phone, we have almost 100% chance of rain later on this afternoon. Here's Wheaton. In front, shot just wide. Hannah Wheatland had an opportunity, tried a left-footed boot, trying to find the near side on Roderick. But she just missed. It'll be another goal kick for the Whalers. Here's Emma Almeida on the goal kick. Intercepted right off the bat by Seguin, and there's a whole bunch of mucking around for that loose ball now, right around the 25-yard line, played up by midfield, tipped by Jacobson. Back on the right side, tipping it ahead was Wheatland. And we're going to get a contact call against New Bedford. It'll be a direct kick now for the Indians because of said contact. And the kick will be taken by Wheatland. Or perhaps she'll have a give and go here with Seguin. Both are there alone, but it was just deflected out of bounds. Five minutes and change to go here in this third quarter. New Bedford well on their way to victory number 4 in the COVID-19 shortened 2020 campaign. Freitas over to Paiva. Paiva all alone to Wheatland. Shot. What a save. Rebound. Ball is loose up top. Another opportunity for Dartmouth. Another shot on goal, and it's just wide. That was Kristen Medeiros trying a left-footed boot at the top of the box, and it was just wide of the cage, and we'll get a goal kick. We'll take another look. Here's the Wheatland opportunity. Nice save, and the ball came right out top the box, and you can see right there, just before that replay cut out, like we talked about, Kristen Medeiros had a chance, but her left-footed shot was just wide of the net. Fratardo over to Wheaton. Wheaton back and forth. That's Kate Seguin. Seguin to Wheatland. Wheatland trying to send away Cook. Cook loses control. Barreling in toward goals. Kristen Medeiros playing it back now for the Indians is Wheatland. Wheatland behind the back pass to Medeiros. Medeiros looking to find Kate Seguin streaking toward goal, but it's intercepted. Here's Seguin on the back hustle. Seguin loses control. Tipping it back now for the Whalers is Peyton Costa. Peyton Costa gives way to Haven Lopes. It's intercepted. Back on the attack now you have the Indians, Savannah Freitas. Centering feed is gobbled up by Roderick on the one hopper. Roderick plays it out far and deep to Sage Morrow. Morrow trying to crack midfield. She's ran into the wall of Kylie Wheaton. No call there on the contact. Here's Paiva. Paiva stops. Tries to quarterback that offense, and she was looking to perhaps send Medeiros away onside, but it just goes out of bounds. It'll be another goal kick for New Bedford. We've been saying that a lot today. Goal kick for the Whalers, goal kick for New Bedford, and that's indicative of the offensive pressure we've seen all afternoon long by these Dartmouth High Lady Indians. It has been nonstop with shots peppered toward goal. The goal kick will be taken by Elma Almeida. Medeiros on the steal. Medeiros being guarded by Bucha. Out of bounds. It'll be Whaler ball. Vastly approaching stoppage time here in this third quarter. Won't be too much stoppage time here. We had only one goal, and keep in mind, when goals are scored, the clock is stopped. So we haven't had any serious stoppages in regard to out of bounds, substitutions, etc. So we should be hearing those 3 short whistle blows in relative short order here. Here's Bucha. Bucha stolen away by Dartmouth. Tipping it ahead is Wheatland. Wheatland intercepted. Pacheco clearing it all the way down into Whaler attacking territory, and it just goes out of bounds. It'll be a kick-in for the Indians. Paiva. Out of bounds. It'll be another kick-in for Dartmouth here. As soon as this ball is kicked in, I bet we're going to hear those 3 whistles. Paiva over to Seguin. Seguin out of bounds. Play still continues. Medeiros drawing 3 Whaler defenders. You know you're good when you've got 3 defenders on you in that instance. Seguin looking for some help in stoppage time. Just can't get enough help. It goes out of bounds. And it wasn't deflected by New Bedford. So it'll be a goal kick for the Whalers in stoppage time. As has been the case this entire quarter, the goal kick will be taken by Emma Almeida. Connecting over with her teammate Peyton Costa. Costa over to Bucha, tips it ahead, up and out of bounds. And there you have it, the 3 short whistles. And that'll wrap up the third quarter of play. So we will head into the fourth and final frame here at Dartmouth Memorial Field with the score. Dartmouth well in control of this one. They lead 6-0 over the New Bedford High Whalers. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a short moment with fourth quarter action. And we're back for fourth quarter action in Dartmouth Memorial Field as the Dartmouth High Lady Indians are well on their way to picking up their fourth victory on the season. The only goal in that third quarter came at the 12-minute, 42-second mark of that third quarter, and it came off the foot of Savannah Freitas, the senior defender. It was a thing of beauty, if you remember. She was all alone, and she deked out the goalkeeper for New Bedford, Roderick, and slammed it home into the wide open net. It was a thing of beauty for sure. So now if you're Dartmouth, you're all about killing time, slowing things down, killing the clock if you can. You don't have to run it up here. This game is already a foregone conclusion and a win. Here's a chance for New Bedford, the best chance they've had in the game so far. And coming out is Kate Smith, had to be on her toes on that one. And running in toward goal was Haven Lopes. Had a real legitimate breakaway opportunity, but Kate Smith had the foresight to come out and just suck that thing up and make sure that there wasn't an opportunity there for the first Whaler goal of the afternoon. And of course, if New Bedford scored, it wouldn't really change things as far as who wins or loses. But if you're Kate Smith, of course you want that shutout on your record. And if you're the Indians, especially the Indian defenders, you want that shutout notch in your belt as well. Amy Bernardo now in the game for the Indians. You see her on the far left corner, number 20, first action we've seen from her. So I predict we're going to see a lot of emptying of the bench here in this fourth and final quarter. We've seen a deep rotation already as it is, but we'll see it even deeper. You don't see Kylie Wheaton out there. You don't see Kelly Medeiros out there. So I'm not sure if we'll see any more of them here this afternoon, but I wouldn't be shocked if we did not either. This game is already long over, and last thing you want to do is risk an injury to one of, well, both of potentially your key players. It did rain earlier today, even though we do have an artificial surface out here. The grass is still a little slick, and last thing you want to do is chance anything. Plus, too, and more importantly, you're going to get some great minutes here by some of these underclassmen so that in the future, they'll be ready to go. Here's a chance now for Maya Leonardo. Leonardo had a chance to go in on goal. It's cleared away by New Bedford. Just out of bounds. Here's another opportunity at the goal kick mark for Emma Almeida. That's why I always say in these blowout situations here in high school athletics, the minutes that you see now, even though the game is over, they're some of the most important minutes you can actually have in high school sports. You're getting underclassmen and players who don't play that often the chance to play, not only to compete, but if God forbid a player is injured, sick, for whatever reason can't start a game or can't come into a game, you now have increased your depth off the bench, and you've got players who have had real game experience. Another chance in on goal, going for it, was Maya Leonardo. Shot toward the goal, deflected, and it's going to be almost saved by Autumn Cenero. Cenero now trying to play it back to Ella Will. Will can't gain a handle out of bounds, but it goes off of a Whaler. It goes off of Lopes, so it'll be a kick-in for the Whalers. The Indians, excuse me, in Whaler attacking territory. Four minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. This game has breezed right by. Remember, we did not start at 3:30. We started at around 3:40-ish, 3:42, I believe the official start time was. One of the officials was a few minutes late. So with all that being said, we're only an hour and a half in, and we've already have 3 full quarters and then some in the books. And 6 goals to boot. And the rain hasn't come in yet, so all is well for the Indians and their fans. Is Giosa. Giosa, another very important piece to this team, plays it over to Leonardo. Leonardo to Will. Will stops, nice foot move. Plays it back over to DaCosta. Callie DaCosta, centering feed to Giosa. Giosa tries to play it off her chest to slow it down. She does, but Maya Leonardo can't gain a handle. Back toward the box, and New Bedford clears it across center. Here's Caitlin Silva trying to play it in toward the box, looking to send Autumn Cenero away. The junior midfielder deflected out of bounds. It'll be a kick-in for the junior Kylie DaCosta. DaCosta to Cenero. Junior to junior. They'll both be here next year. Stolen away by New Bedford. Vanessa Bucha out of bounds. Trying to streak toward the goal, and she just lost a handle. And it'll be Indian ball, and it'll be another kick-in, and it'll be taken again by DaCosta. DaCosta to Will. Will stolen away by Pacheco. In toward the box, Eileen Boyle. Boyle will give way and not play it, and she'll allow Smith to grab it down, and she'll look for some help. She's a no rush. Instead of throwing, she decides to punt it away, and it's a good one. It connects with Cenero, and Cenero will play it back to DaCosta. Cenero. Indians have numbers if they hurry. Cenero centering feed, looking to find Leonardo. Leonardo tries an attempt at goal, but it's grabbed out on the box by the goalkeeper, Roderick. Bucha striking now, has a chance. All alone, being guarded now by DaCosta, centering feed, looking to hit Emily Miranda going in toward the goal, but it is out of bounds on the centering feed. Gabby Santos will kick it in for Dartmouth. Leonardo, That's a good ball, and sending Caitlin Silver in all the way. Excuse me, check that. That was Autumn Cenero, but it's irrelevant because Cenero is called for offside. We're about to have a New Bedford sub come in, waiting to come in off the bench is Ariana Mello. And we have another sub. We have two, Ariana Mello and Sage Morrow are both getting set to check in at the scorer's table. They'll come in at the next stoppage. There's an indirect kick for the Whalers taken by Emma Almeida. We have a contact call clear as day against New Bedford, as being a little too aggressive that time for the Whalers was Tari Pereira. As hitting the deck was Kylie DaCosta. She draws the call. It'll be a direct kick for Dartmouth. Here's Will. Out of bounds on the far side. It'll be a kick-in for the Whalers. The kick-in will be taken by Kaisha Mendoza. And now those two for the Whalers who we talked about earlier will check in. That being Mello and Morrow. Just about at the halfway mark of this fourth and final quarter. Dartmouth in a run out the clock situation here. Milk it. And just let time waste on by. Autumn Cenero trying to take it up along the sideline. It's deflected out of bounds by the Whalers and Mise. It'll be a kick-in for DaCosta. Let's see if they're ready to set up. They do. DaCosta. Leonardo with a chance. Tried to turn around to shoot it. Just got deflected away. Another opportunity for New Bedford to clear it out. They can't do it. Now finally they do it. They had several opportunities to clear it out, and they finally were able to do it. They were in all sorts of trouble there. Here's Giosa. In toward goal. Giosa stops. Pops. Tries to shoot it, but she just loses control, and Avery Roderick hits the deck and snags it from the ground. Good ball handling work that time by the goalkeeper, Roderick, and she keeps it a 6-0 game. That very easily could have been in the back of the net if she stayed on her feet and didn't come down to grab it. You had Sophia Giosa right on the doorstep, and she was ready to go. Autumn Cenero tipping it ahead to herself, but it's too far ahead out of bounds. It'll be Whaler ball. We have a sub for the Indians, as checking out is Ellie Cook, and coming in will be Ella Will. New Bedford on the free kick. On that last call, tipped ahead. Running for it now is Ariana Mello. Mello kicked out of bounds by Caitlin Sylvia. New Bedford ball. We should be on pace for a very short stoppage time if things keep up the way they are. Here's Pereira in toward goal, looking to set up Caitlin Almeida with a scoring opportunity, but very smartly letting it bounce out of bounds was Gabby Santos, the junior midfielder. Instead of rushing it, causing an error if she runs to touch it, she lets it go out. That's a big league veteran play there. because it gives her team the freebie and the goal kick. Here we go. Again, remember, we talked about this in our telecast last week between Dartmouth and West Bridgewater. On a punt or a goal kick, it cannot surpass the 50-yard line or midfield mark. The theory being is that you could probably have more contact, players bumping into each other, trying to head it. So you can kick it in the air, that's fine. But it has to be within the first 50 yards or the midfield, your half back within your own zone. One of the abridged new rules for boys and girls high school MIAA soccer action in this COVID situation. Hope you're all safe, by the way, you and your families. We're happy to be bringing you this action here from Dartmouth Memorial Field. I know many of you wish you could be here supporting your team, supporting your children, your relatives, your friends and whatnot, but hopefully you enjoy these telecasts. We're trying to make the best of it for you all. We've been doing these games a long time here on DCTV, not like this, not with a live stream with so many folks watching it at home or on their computer or their phones when normally they'd be here. But we're trying our best for you, and we have a great production team here at DCTV. And, of course, I enjoy calling these games for you. Ian Abreu here, calling the play-by-play. You know, I've been with DCTV now going on 15 years. Can't believe it. I was hired to do some part-time broadcasting work in my freshman year, not sophomore. Yeah, my freshman year of college. I was brought in by Jen Gaspar, who's now at Greater New Bedford Voc Tech, but Peter Chase, who's directing today's game, he was here back then. And we had a whole other cast of characters, but now we have a lot of other great new folks here. Mike Fernandez, Mike Moniz, many others. Of course, one of our former longtime employees, Derek Freight's, one of our good buddies, is running the show over at Fairhaven Cable Access, and he's doing great work, taking their cable access to the next level. So it's all good, all in the family here, and we're all here to support our communities and support the South Coast region. So glad you've joined us here today. 6-0 in favor of the Indians. Now we're really grinding down to the nitty-gritty of this thing. Under the 5-minute mark, as you can see up top of your scoreboard. Jacobson up to Leonardo, trying to split the D. Can't do it. Good defense and good back-checking that time by Sandy DeAndrade. Little bit of contact there, but the officials let it go. It really is officials' discretion, but they really don't want any contact, and if there is, there'll be an immediate stoppage and a direct kick, and the rules state that if it continues and it's on purpose and it's egregious, you could then get into a yellow or possibly even a red card situation. Here's Leonardo trying to play it back to Will, but Will was running too far ahead and didn't see the back pass. To Costa. Will has a player onside. If he can get her, she does. That's Cenero, who is onside. Autumn Cenero, let's see what she can do. Will she try for the cross? There's the cross. Blocked away. She was trying to set up Giosa, but it's played back to Will. Top the box. We have a stoppage call on the contact. It'll be a direct kick for Dartmouth, and I believe it'll be taken by Will. So Will has a chance here to get it right in on goal and perhaps even score. Let's see what happens. It is a non-toward goal, a good shot, but it's grabbed on the one hopper by Roderick. And one thing you would notice, folks, on these direct kicks. These indirect kicks, you would normally see the wall of defenders. You can't have a wall anymore because of this COVID-19 pandemic. They don't want players touching each other, lining up together, so you can't have the wall. And thus you have real opportunities of open shots toward goal here, which makes things very interesting. Here's Leonardo with a chance. Played it back. Shot on goal. Nice save by Roderick. Tip, rebound. Trying to chest it in off a deflection was Autumn Cenero, and she just miscued. She was in all alone behind the goalie, Roderick, and she just mishandled it. Now let's take a look at that save by Roderick, and it was a doozy. Look at Cenero here on the rebound. She just tried to tip it in right below her jaw, top part of her chest area by the clavicle. And that's a tough thing to do, to try to deflect it in. She just missed. Give her an A for effort. Here's Paige Jacobson looking to set up Maya Leonardo, but Leonardo couldn't gain a handle. Now we are officially in the stoppage time period. Out of bounds, it'll be Indian ball, and Gabby Santos will kick it in. Santos to Giosa off a set play, deflected back. Here's Leonardo. Leonardo stops. Centering feed, looking to find Cenero, deflected away. Up and just crossing midfield. Now we have Dartmouth with it, just playing it back. That's Santos. There you had Leonardo looking to perhaps tip the ball ahead to Cenero, but it was just defended out of bounds. DaCosta will take the kick in for the Indians. DaCosta will just conservatively play it down. Cenero will run for it, and clearing it out of bounds for the Whalers is Jenna Noguera. It'll be another kick in for Dartmouth, and again, it'll be taken by DaCosta. Here's DaCosta on the kick in toward goal, deflected out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for New Bedford. It's the far side official who will be calling for the stoppage of this game when he feels like it. He just put up his hand right now, I think. He's making the signal that when this ball touches down, that might be it. Leonardo on the steal, in toward goal, and it's grabbed by Roderick. Roderick grabs it, but she can't do anything with it because the play is blown dead, and this thing is over. The Dartmouth High Indians are victorious here this afternoon at Dartmouth Memorial Field with a final score of 6-0. Without a doubt, the star of the game here this afternoon is the midfielder, the senior, Annika Fratardo, netting a hat trick here this afternoon, scoring her 6th, 7th, and 8th goal of the campaign. With the win, the Indians now improved to 4-0 overall in the 2020 season. And with the loss, the Lady Whalers of New Bedford High fall to 0-5. Well, that'll wrap things up here from the field. On behalf of Peter Chase, Mike Moniz, and our entire production crew, this is Ian Abreu saying so long, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this afternoon's telecast. And this Game of the Week has been an exclusive production of DCTV Sports. On behalf of all of us here, so long, everybody.